Here are some Superman quick facts that you probably didn't know, but now you can say you do, thanks to me. Superman was created by Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster in 1933. Superman's first appearance predates even the inception of Detective Comics in 1937. And in his first appearance, he wasn't a hero, he was actually a bald telepathic villain that looked like this. At first, Superman was hyphenated, only because they couldn't fit the word Superman on one page of the 2-page spread that the Reign of Superman was printed on. But Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster would go on to sell the rights to Superman to DC Comics for $130. And according to my calculations, when adjusted for inflation, that's only $3,274.47. So it's fair to say that they got ripped off. Initially, after Superman jumped over to DC Comics, his only abilities at that time were he was faster than a speeding bullet, stronger than a locomotive, and he was able to leap over buildings in a single jump. And it wasn't until later on that other powers started getting added to his arsenal. For instance, in Action Comics number 11 in 1939, X-Ray Vision was added to his arsenal. And in 1949, in Superman number 59, his heat vision was introduced, and it was explained to be a byproduct of his X-ray vision. Then, his ability to fly was only added to his arsenal of powers because in the 1940s cartoon, they thought it would be too hard to animate his legs bending to show that he could jump really high. So essentially, if it wasn't for the technological limitations of the time or just the animator's laziness, Superman wouldn't even be able to fly. Over the years, Superman has had some pretty wacky superpowers, like the ability to shapeshift. He's also had super hypnosis, super ventriloquism, whatever the fuck that is. And he's even had the ability to project smaller versions of himself out of the palm of his hand. Superman gets all of his power from the yellow sun, which means on Krypton he would be powerless because they have a red sun. Also, Superman never needs to breathe oxygen. Or he never even needs to eat food because he could survive off of solar energy alone. And speaking of solar energy, he has something known as a super flare where he lets off all the solar energy in his body at once and it causes a huge explosion, but then he'll be powerless for the next 24 hours afterwards. Superman's most famous weakness is kryptonite, but did you know that kryptonite was created on the Superman radio show in 1943 on the episode called The Meteor from Krypton, and they only did that to explain the absence of the voice actor for Superman. Superman, as we know him today, his first appearance was in Action Comics number 1 from 1938.
Like my videos.
Leave a comment. Follow me on TikTok.